And now,
here's a guy who has never won a congeniality award at any radio station anywhere.
I will fight you in the street.
It's the Eric Zane Show podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
thank you, Johnny. Welcome to the Eric Zane Show podcast. Here we go. You can get it many places. Facebook, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. That's where we do it live. We'll do it live. I'll write it in. We'll do it live. Twitter, Blue Frost IT Twitter handle at Eric Zane Show. Follow the show on Instagram. Search Eric Zane Show. Brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Okay, so we're kind of back to normal now as this midwinter break has ended. So that means Diana back to work, Madison back to school. It's crazy. You know, you look at the amount of time I spent doing with double working with this and then the limo job. That was all screwy, and then them getting that time off. It messes with the homeostasis of the ritual here. But today it's back to normal. That's why I got these dogs here. You see, when Diana's home, the dogs are like, I know she can let them out, so I just basically come in here and start to do my thing. But when everybody's up and around, it's up to me to get all that stuff done. So that means the boys are here on the show. Okay, so all is right, all is well, and we continue on. There will be no Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia today because I got word this morning that one Throat/Dale is under the weather. He's still working, doing his job that he has to do. But he goes, "Hey, Zane, look, I'm sick as a dog, man. I'm sick as a dog. I don't know if you want me in the house." I go, "You're right, I don't. I haven't been sick since last January. That's more than 1 year, and I want to keep that going. I want to try to navigate an entire winter of non-sickness. So, no, stay away." I reached out to Pete, who he was playing, who, God, I just cannot get over this last name. Schreur. It's pronounced Skur, I think, but it just looks jacked. It's like a freaking hodgepodge of letters thrown together to give me Skur, but I don't know. I think you should change it. Anyway, he's going to take on Dale next week. All right, let's open up. Talking about the Daytona 500. Now, I probably wouldn't be talking about this had the wreck late not happened. Okay, it came down to the last lap. You got these guys fighting for position. And then I believe it's Ryan Newman in front. He's been around a long, long time. Behind him is, I believe, Dave Blaney. And then Denny Hamlin is also in the mix. So you're talking like not much left on the track. There's very little real estate as they come down the front stretch, and then that's going to be it. Over 190 miles an hour. And it looked like Blaney went down low, and Newman went for the block. And then somehow Blaney got into the back end of Newman a little bit, and then Newman careened into the wall. It looked a lot like Earnhardt. If you remember back 19 years ago when Dale Earnhardt Sr., that happened to him, it wasn't right at the front when that happened. But who was it, Kenny Schrader? No. Yeah, I think it was Kenny Schrader. Might have been behind him at the time. And then this case, it just looked weird how Newman just careened right into that wall. He lives, but I was concerned that he didn't live as the evening progressed, because NASCAR made it a point to clear media out of the infield. NASCAR had up those blinders around the wreck so that you couldn't really see what was up. And the horrific nature of the crash as Newman hit the wall, and then I believe it was Corey LaJoie hit him, which caused his car to flip in the air. It was remarkable, and come crashing down on the hood, or not the hood, on the roof of the car, and just sparks. Newman flies across the finish line with sparks flying with his wheels up. He actually crossed the finish line with his wheels facing up. You don't want that. Holy shit, was that crazy. All they've said is that he was seriously hurt, but not life-threatening. I find that amazing that he would be able to survive that crash. This is how it went. You got Jeff Gordon and Mike Joy announcing that final lap right here.
Did wrecking behind Chase Elliott around.
Spinning around,
No
still green.
yet.
Still green.
Still green, and here they come.
And here comes Blaney.
Ryan Blaney up behind Ryan Newman, trying to get him to Hamlin.
Newman back
I said Dave Blaney earlier. I meant Ryan Blaney. Pardon me.
up to Blaney. Big run coming here.
To the inside, Newman to the front.
Nothing Denny Hamlin could do. What can Ryan Blaney now do? Here comes a push from Denny Hamlin. Oh, this thing's not over yet. Not at all.
It sounds incredible.
Ryan Newman off turn 4 for the final time. Blaney to the outside, to the inside.
There it is.
Here comes Hamlin up the outside.
Wow.
Crash into the wall, into the air. Goes Newman
Upside down.
in a shower of sparks on his roof. Ryan Newman comes across the line, 4th, and comes to rest. Scoring unofficial between Hamlin and Blaney as far as who crossed the finish line first. Newman got turned, went up in the air. As he came down, was hit by another car and launched skyward, coming down on his roof. The AMR safety team is there quickly to attend to Ryan Newman. A fist pump from Denny Hamlin.
I saw an interview this morning about the increases in safety on these drivers. The Hans device is one thing in particular that keeps your head from whipping forward, which is what ultimately killed Earnhardt. That's a big one. And then I think the walls at Daytona are made of a composite that absorbs a bit of the impact and is a little bit more forgiving than concrete, which may have been what contributed to Earnhardt's death too. But there was a driver that we mentioned earlier. He's the one who hit Newman after he got into the wall, and then the car started flipping. That's Corey LaJoie. Corey LaJoie spoke to Good Morning America this morning with Michael Strahan.
And we're joined by Corey LaJoie, who's behind the wheel of one of the cars that collided with Ryan Newman yesterday. And Corey, thank you.
He sounds ridiculous. I'm sorry. Every time I hear freaking Strahan, he just sounds so stupid. It's that damn lisp. I can't help it.
And we're joined by Corey LaJoie, who's behind the wheel of one of the cars that collided with Ryan Newman yesterday. And Corey, thank you so much for joining us from North Carolina. And first, our thoughts and prayers are with Ryan and his family right now. But what can you tell us?
Mike Tyson hears Michael Strahan and goes, man, that guy's voice is screwed up.
About his condition?
Nothing beyond what I've seen on social media. I don't really have any inside source per se, but just the fact that he's not life-threatened. He's obviously in serious condition because that's probably the worst possible spot.
I'm sure Strahan's a real authority on NASCAR.
And the most vulnerable spot in our race cars is that roof corner. And that was a really scary wreck, and all of our thoughts and prayers with the Newman and their family.
And take us back to that moment on the track, because your car did collide with his. But what was it like being on the track at that moment, being in that accident?
It was wild, man. I didn't even know who I hit because you're concentrating on trying to get a good finish, and nobody realizes how fast 200 miles an hour is, or how light or how uncontrollable these cars are when you get out of shape. So I didn't even know who I hit or what the extent of the crash was until after I got out of the infield care center. So it was until somebody told me that Ryan, they took him straight to the hospital. I was obviously nervous. I still haven't seen the replay beyond what was shown right there. So it was obviously a very, very scary crash, but the fact that he's still with us and he can hopefully make a full recovery is just a testament to the NASCAR R&D group and how safe they're trying to make these race cars.
It's been a while since I've really watched NASCAR or gotten into it in any way. I used to when I lived in the South, but, I see all these names, and I'm like, these are all the drivers that I used to watch. They're kids, it seems like. When Ryan Newman is the old man of the bunch, I'm like, holy crap, isn't he like 20? No, dummy. Man, there's nothing quite like being at the Daytona 500. I was lucky enough years ago to be able to go to that more than once. We had that sponsor, Cat Footwear, before the whole PFAS thing. Hang on, my heater keeps coming unplugged. Either that or I'm blowing a fuse. You wouldn't believe how many cords I've got under here. My God. All right. Yeah, my heater kept coming unplugged. Hang on. There we go. Going to the Daytona 500 is incredible. And so, we had like a camper on the infield, and they decked it out. Hang on, I gotta sneeze. I'm having a great string here. Oh God, no, that was incredible. Oh, force of nature, the sneeze. And he's right. You don't really get an idea on TV of just how fast they're moving until you're actually there at the track and you hear them whip by. Oh, that is a sight to behold. Incredible. So I guess that dude's going to be okay, but no idea the extent of the injuries. They've been very, very hush-hush about it, but my goodness, was that incredible. That, I don't know why, but that kind of makes me want to watch NASCAR. And this has been a thing where I'll like, you know what, I think I'm going to go get back into it. I'm going to go pay attention. I'm going to get caught up as to who's the storylines and whatnot, and then I get down in front of the TV and I start to watch it, and then after 3 laps I'm asleep, and I'm like, oh God, now I remember why I quit watching this shit. Speaking of car, my hot rod was serviced yesterday, and I could have it back right now. The folks at Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid did such an amazing job on it. They got it done in plenty of time for me to go get it today or yesterday. But something happened, and that happened is I fell asleep. Wow. I don't know if I've needed to catch up on sleep or what, or I didn't get enough over the weekend, but I did about 7 hours of work here, and then it got to be about 3 o'clock yesterday. And I go, I think I'm going to go get get a few winkies. And I laid down, and the next thing I know, it's 5:45. I slept for almost 3 hours, and I had the worst damn dream in the world, because this happens from time to time. It's a dream where Diane's dad is in it, my father-in-law, Jerry. And man, I tell you what, I felt like such an asshole in this dream. In the dream, it's so stupid. It's Jerry, my mother-in-law, Sue, and Diana. And all 3 of them were pissed off because I did something in the dream. And you ever go back in your brain as to why am I dreaming about that? And I have no idea why I was dreaming about them. I have no idea why this scenario was in place. Nothing that took place during the day that might have embedded itself in my brain. No clue. In the freaking dream, I'm in a place I'm not familiar with those people. And Jerry's bummed out because he's got a stain on his white dress shirt, and we're all getting ready to go out. So he takes it to the cleaners. He gets the shirt back, and it's hanging up there. And then I somehow, spilled coffee on the shirt. And, man, they were treating me like I was Adolf Hitler in this dream. They were so pissed off. So I finally said, all right. Give me the size shirt, and I'm going to go buy a new shirt right now. And that was the only thing that shut him up. And the thing about him is once he would get going, he would not stop. Even if he got his pound of flesh, he would keep going and attacking me. So in the dream, he did the same fucking thing and beat the shit out of me, and then they all jumped on board, Diana and my mother-in-law. So it was 3-on-1. I'm just sitting there acting like an asshole, feeling like an asshole. I woke up feeling like an asshole. It was like he was alive all over again. He hasn't been alive for 20 years, both of them. And the thing is, it really wasn't like that when they were alive. They were good to me. So that was a bummer. But I wake up and I got all these messages from the folks at Irvine say, "Hey, where are you? The car's ready to go." I get a hold of them. It's Megan. She's getting on an airplane. She's jet setting to, I don't know, some deal. She's like, "Well, you can't pick it up now. It's late. We're closed." I go, "Okay." And she said, "You remember how you were telling me that you thought that the sensors were bad, the sensors that tell you that your tires are low? Because on the car, if the tires start to get a little bit low in air pressure, you get a warning. It says tires low." And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, you said that the pressure that was the problem. That was not the problem. It wasn't a problem at all with the car letting you know, and there wasn't anything wrong with the sensors. You had numerous screws and nails in both back tires." Of course. I go, "Oh, all right." So, again, I felt like a dumbass. She's like, "Don't worry, we don't judge." Yes, you do. You guys are laughing at me in that shop. "Yeah, hey, could you fix this car? There's something wrong with those sensors." Yeah. All right, I'll pick it up today. The Open is brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Apparently, I've been saying the phone number wrong, giving you the wrong area code like an ass. Their number is 231-332-6505. I had been saying something different. 231-332-6505. If I get it wrong again, I'm just going to give you your money back. They want to get you into a mortgage today if you've been working hard and giving all your money to some slumlord thinking, "Well, I'll never get a home." That's not true. You're just not dealing with the right person who wants to make sure that you get into a mortgage so that you stop throwing your money away on rent. Come on. Pay for your own home. You can get into a mortgage. Now, some of you're like, "Well, I know I can get a mortgage. Is Mario still good for me? I want to support the show, Zane, but my credit's not in the dumper." Well, of course. That makes life so much easier. But not every mortgage person wants to deal with everyone in the public. Mario does. He makes those people a priority. If you've fallen victim to bankruptcy, divorce, or you just behave like a moron when you were young, you still got to fix this. You still got to live. Reach out to Mario. He's going to help you navigate this. He's going to get in there and figure it out. Call him. 231-332-6505. First thing you do is get a mortgage. Then you get the house. I'm going to tell you a little later on in the show who you need to call upon to get the house. This is who you call on to get the mortgage. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. AmSoil created synthetic motor oil. I want you to call JM Synthetics or reach out to JM Synthetics. Get to their website by going to mine, ericzaneshow.com. Click on the JM Synthetics logo in the sponsor scroll. They're in the lower sponsor scroll of Eric Zane Show podcast. I'm sorry, ericzaneshow.com. And order your AmSoil. You get your carpet from Johnson Carpet One in Granville, Michigan, right on Chicago Drive. They're having a massive sale until the 22nd of February. You can save 20% on everything like vinyl tile, not to mention laminates, hardwood, carpet. They have it all at Johnson Carpet One, right on Chicago Drive, across from Strider's in downtown Granville. You know, if you get the stuff from them, then you call on Bennett Flooring Installation to install it. That's all good. But get your materials from Johnson Carpet One. They are the experts. They're going to walk in. You might not have any clue as to what to get. They've got the experts there. They're going to get you into the right supplies for your home before it is installed. Johnson Carpet One. Get to their website, again, by going to ericzaneshow.com. Okay. Next up, I cannot believe this happened. A little bit of background here. I seriously, I was floored with what I heard here. It came so out of the blue. First of all, talk show host Wendy Williams, I don't watch her. I know she's kind of like one of these daytime talk show hosts that, the studio audience filled with a bunch of middle-aged women that scream and yell, and it's kind of a comedy show, but not really. It's not really funny, not anything that I would laugh at. And she seems like a bit of a handful, a bit of a drama queen. And but I didn't really understand where this was coming from. I mean, I don't get it, and I don't think her audience got it either, and I think that they kind of responded appropriately to her in the moment. It was really, really cringeworthy. Wendy Williams took a run at the now-deceased Amy Hardwick. Amy Hardwick is that lady who died over the weekend when she was pushed out of a third-story window by a former lover, who was crazy. 41-year-old Hardwick was a, I guess, what you would call a celebrity love therapist, advice person, who making a name for herself with her education background, kind of like a Dr. Drew, if you will, but more for love and sex, I guess, which is fine, whatever. And Amy Hardwick, I hadn't really heard of her until prior to this incident, and had the Wendy Williams thing not popped, I probably wouldn't have talked about this. But she, at one point, was engaged to Drew Carey, and for whatever reason, it did not work out. Now, Drew Carey has really nothing to do with the story. A lot of people, when they would talk about Amy Hardwick dying, they would say, yeah, at one point she was engaged to Drew Carey, and then maybe that would, some people go, oh, yeah, her, but whatever. Well, like a month ago, Hardwick happened to stumble upon this ex-lover, this ex-boyfriend, and People Magazine wrote that when they heard about that, they're like, oh, no, this is not good because he's crazy. Well, in that time leading up to her death, she had filed more than one restraining order on the guy because apparently the interaction was enough to, propel this maniac back into her life where he started to, stalk her, okay? So just that chance interaction is what a lot of her friends are saying led to him doing what he did, and cops say he in fact hunted her down again and then threw her out of a window and from her residence, I believe, and people heard her screaming, and they found her on the ground in bad shape, and then she died. So, I mean, this is horrible. Drew Carey said he's heartbroken. He, this is really, really bad. So, this is so stupid. I mean, I joke about shit all the time, but I just don't understand why anyone would take a run at Amy Hardwick. The only reason why I have half a grin is because how effed up this is. God dang it, that Wendy Williams did. I mean, no one knows her at all, and what has she done to deserve this? And it's just screwed up. Holy crap. Wendy Williams, in this, she does this deal where she talks about hot topics. Here's the hot topics. This is on yesterday's show. And Amy Hardwick is one of the hot topics. And so she goes out of her way to reference Drew Carey to try to piece together a Price is Right joke to coincide with her falling 3 floors to her death. Listen to this shit.
Drew Carey's ex-fiance was tragically murdered over the weekend. Look, it was like 3 o'clock on Saturday morning.
You see, it sounds like stand-up right away. The way she's like, look. It just sounds like she's doing a bit right from the start.
Drew Carey's ex-fiance was tragically murdered over the weekend. Look, it was like 3 o'clock on Saturday morning. And there was screaming in the neighborhood in LA. She lived with a roommate, a girl roommate, and the roommate heard the screaming. The neighbors all around the neighborhood heard the screaming, and they called 911. Once the cops got there, she was down there dead on the ground. Yep, was pushed off of a 3rd floor balcony. I'll give you a little backstory. So, she was killed not by Drew, but by the ex. Come on down.
Fuck.
Why are you putting allegedly? This story is everywhere. All right, lawyer lady, she threw allegedly in there.
She's trying to
Hasn't been convicted.
move on.
The ex-boyfriend hasn't been convicted.
He's been
yet.
arrested.
Correct.
Shit. Oh, God. It's so screwed up. You could tell she went out of her way to try to square peg round hole that joke. And it was so rough. She did that so horribly. How could she not abandon that joke? Why did she keep going? Because she's hearing these shocked from all of these people, yet she continued to go down that road.
Drew Carey's ex-fiance was tragic, and they called 911. Once the cops got there, she was down there dead on the ground. Yep, was pushed off of a 3rd floor balcony. I'll give you a little backstory. So, she was killed not by Drew, but by the ex. Come on down. Why are you putting a?
Oh my God! Again, I'm not laughing because that's funny. I'm mortified that this happened. What the fuck is wrong with you, you stupid bitch? Oh, is she the only one that knew that this joke was happening? Is there no one in the writing room that said, because, they read this all out, it's part of her monologue. No one said, Wendy, I don't think it's a good idea to take a run at these people. It's, the old time plus tragedy equals comedy, but this one would never be funny. It's just, it's not even funny. It's just stupid. You're just such an asshole. Does no one bend her ear and say, look, Wendy, I don't think that the Drew Carey falling 3rd floor, come on down joke is gonna work. Oh my God! Did you hear? Because they're all moaning, and then after she says it, you actually hear someone go, "Oh,
come on down."
That's bad. Wow. Woof. Woof. Wendy Williams. Good luck with that one. Man, there was a lot of backlash, too. People magazine, they, let's see it. In fact, I should probably get some of the outrage. The outrage machine was wound up on that one. All right. Amy. Okay. I just could not get over that. And by the way, I'll link this all up so you can get the get everything as it unfolded on TV. No thanks. I don't want People Magazine. Oh shit. Hold on. Oh, no, I probably shouldn't have done this because I'm digging into it, and it's not going to matter. I'm an idiot. I thought I had some comments. I don't know what's more awkward, me searching for comments that people said about how stupid she is, or actually playing that audio. All right. I do cameos, cameo.com/Eric Zane. I just did 3. I mentioned it once last week, and 3 people said, yeah, do this. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. BK Guns and Stuff, the official gunsmith of the Eric Zane Show podcast. You can get more information about them at ericzaneshow.com. Get your gun fixed, clean, modified. They do it all. Part of my group of Saranac shit kickers along with JM Synthetics. Thank you to BK Guns and Stuff. The realtor of choice is Henry Steffes, the Steffes Group of Keller Williams Realty. You got the mortgage. Now go get the house. Whether you're looking for a house, whether you're selling your house, please allow Henry to be part of that equation. Reach out to him at thesteffesgroup.com. Okay? And you could be in a brand new house. You could be in a house that's been lived in before, whatever it may be. And to list your home, I know that is a serious, serious process that is very, very stressful. Do take the time to get to know Henry and think, because he might be the guy. You might have a couple other people you have lined up. Go ahead and interview them too. But Henry Steffes, definitely include him in that equation. TheSteffesGroup.com. The Steffes Group of Keller Williams Realty. Thank you so much. Riverbend Body Shop, the ones who fix the cars for the Eric Zane Show podcast. I got to get out there. Madison's car got cracked up by that moron when she was parked on the side of the road. I want you to take your cars to Riverbend Body Shop on Lake Michigan Drive, just east of Wilson. They just signed up for another 3 months. Thanks to them. You don't need an appointment when you're getting an estimate. Just pull up and say, hey, can somebody come out and help me? DeGroot will shuffle across the floor because his pants are too tight and go around your car, take some pictures, and give you an estimate by the end of the day. Compare it to the others. You know they're the best. Riverbend Body Shop, online at riverbendbodyshop.com, fixing cars in West Michigan that get cracked up for more than 70 years. Can you imagine those first cars 70 years ago? Whoa. They got to have a picture of that somewhere, the first car that they fixed. Isn't that a thing you do when you're a business? First car you fixed or first dollar you made? All right, thank you to Riverbend Body Shop. There is a debate coming up tomorrow. And former Mayor Mike Bloomberg has skyrocketed in the polls. Now, I don't know if these polls mean anything. You remember how Trump, there was like, there's no chance he's going to beat Hillary Clinton, and he beat her ass. Well, now Bloomberg is now in second place ahead of the debate tomorrow. Now, Sanders has been going cuckoo bananas. You cannot buy an election, the fat cats. That's always his thing. He's always talking about how wealthy people are and they, America will not be bought. But, Sanders is a millionaire many times over. But Bloomberg is a billionaire many times over. He's one of the richest people in the world today. But Bloomberg has spent like $150 million on ads. And I'm always a little suspicious of how a guy can rise in the polls just because he's on an advertisement. Does that mean that all of America is stupid? That all it takes to be a candidate is spending money on every advertising platform that you can in states that you want to win? Is that what it takes? Because it sure seems like it. Because Bloomberg in Iowa polled at 0.something percent. I can't talk. And then he spent a ton of cash, and now he's right near the top. Sanders is number one. That guy's been kicking so much ass, it's unbelievable. But the rest have kind of dropped off, and Bloomberg is now in second with this big debate scheduled for tomorrow. Now, it's all horseshit because all of the mudslingers have basically just gone back into Bloomberg's past and said, all right, he was for this stop and frisk policy, which was basically racial profiling in New York, whatever, and made a big deal about that. So they're focusing on that problem, saying he should have given that up a long time, much sooner than what he did, and all this shit about him being a misogynist and treating women like shit in his company is a big deal. So they're going to hammer his ass on that on national TV tomorrow. Mark my words. It's all they're going to do is drag this guy through the mud. They're all going to team up because outside of Sanders, every single one of these people is sucking shit. Biden is he actually trails Bloomberg. Like I said, Bloomberg is second. It's remarkable that Biden has laid an egg so badly since this whole damn thing got started. But that happens on Wednesday. Now, yesterday, Sanders was doing his big, he was doing another rally. I don't know if this was it might have been in Washington. He is so convinced that he's going to do well in Nevada with that caucus coming up on the weekend. He's getting ready for the Washington primary. So, usual setting. He's on stage. Everybody's got Bernie Sanders signs. He's doing his thing. He's standing in front of them saying, "Yeah, Matt Bloomberg, stop and frisk is horseshit. I think you're a fucking racist. And at the end of the day, he's a misogynist, and we don't want the fat cats. We want to take Mike Bloomberg's money. We're going to give it to you. Socialism and Medicare for all. Say no to big banks." He's on stage. And all of a sudden, some crazy lady storms the stage and grabs the microphone. Behind her are two hippie bitches, topless, with their gross tits hanging out. Now, actually, one of them did have adequate titties. The second chick looked like those dumb fried egg tits, like Tanya Harding when Jeff Gillooly was putting it to her in that sex video. So you got nice rack and fried egg tits are on stage. Sanders is standing there going, "What the hell is going on here?" And then chick who's not showing her titties goes up and grabs Sanders' microphone and says, "Here you go, give me that microphone, Bernie." And he tries to pull it away. So she then grabs the podium mic and starts to speak into it. And what are they protesting? Shit. The dairy industry. Again, the dairy industry is getting it between the eyes. This is because of that asshole Joaquin Phoenix a week and a half ago complaining about the dairy industry. So then topless tits they each open up milk cartons, and they dump the contents over their heads all over onto their tits. And they've got the words "die" written across their bodies. No one wants to touch them. They smell like terrible BO. Now, there's not milk in the cartons, but red liquid. I guess that is to denote the blood of cows. And so they're making a big deal about dead cows. And then there's people that walk on stage holding placards of cows with, bolts through their heads. And it's like, oh, shit. And Sanders is just standing there going, "Oh, my God, I cannot believe this." And then everybody's just looking at these women, and they're up there way too long, and no one tackled them. You see, had they done this at a Trump rally, everyone there would have started to punch these dumb bitches right in the stomach and thrown them off the stage, never to be seen or heard from again. They would have disappeared. They would have had like a wood chipper out behind the place, and they would have ran these women through it, and they would be forever gone. But this is a Democratic Sanders event, so no one wants to touch them for fear of getting sued. Everybody's being nice to them, and they're up there way too long. You need to hit these women in the face. That's what you have to do at this point. A solid jab right to the nose. They're done then. They won't get back on stage if you punch them in the nose. But so fried egg tits and good knockers have blood all over their bodies. Fully clothed bitch is sitting there talking onto the mic. This is how that sounded. Starts out normal enough. And then you hear this chick walk up.
Bernie, I'm your biggest supporter. Bernie, I'm your biggest supporter.
No, you're not.
I'm here to ask you to stop propping up the dairy industry and to
Fuck
stop
you.
propping up animal agriculture.
Shut your fucking mouth.
I believe in you.
I don't believe in you. And then they cut the mic. Now this chick is fully clothed, and she grabs the mic and he goes, no. Or he goes, "What the fuck is going on here?
Bernie, I'm your biggest supporter.
You are not my supporter. I don't want you around me."
Bernie, I'm your biggest supporter, and I'm here to ask you to stop propping up the dairy industry and to stop
I'm here to
propping
ask
up
you to get
animal
off the fucking stage.
agriculture. I believe in you.
Shut up, you dumb bitch. I don't believe in you. Oh, rest in peace to my ears. Everybody's booing him. And now here, fried egg tits is pouring the red liquid all over her chest. Sanders just looking at her titties like, oh, I can't believe I'm seeing tits. Now looks like that scene from the movie Carrie. Holy shit. I hate Washington hippie bitches. Holy crap. This needs to happen at a Trump rally. Okay, that's... I can't believe that these women think that this is the way you get the message across, by making an ass out of yourself. As a protest back, I'm going to buy 10 gallons of milk today and just pour them down the drain. How stupid is this? Hey, if you want to be a sponsor of the Eric Zane Show podcast and get your name behind great content like this, you can reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I've got openings for you. I can get you into a marketing plan for a lot less than you think, okay? I have plans for more extravagant budgets, and I have plans for very, very tiny budgets. You'd be surprised. Try me. The beauty is I'm flexible. I can do whatever the hell I want, and I want to help you. I want your ads to get on this podcast, okay? So if you enjoy the podcast and you're a small or medium-sized business owner, hell, if you're a large business owner, I can put your products or your services in front of a daily audience that I can back up with numbers and analytics and things like that. I pay attention to all that stuff, and I'll let you know what's up, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. That's what Steve Prince did. On a very small budget, he wanted me to tell everybody about his CPL training course. The next one is coming up on March 7th. If you want to be able to carry your pistol around concealed, you got to take the class. You don't need to have a gun. You don't need to own a gun. He's got the guns you need. But if you're thinking about getting a gun or whatever it may be, if you want to carry it concealed, you got to take the class. Get to Steve's Facebook page, which has the latest event on it, at ericzaneshow.com. Just click where it says Prince Army. As you know, the managed IT service provider for the Eric Zane Show podcast is Blue Frost IT. Online at bluefrostit.com, 616-200-8550. Also for small and medium-sized businesses, your business, if you get in the weeds with your tech, you want to have your own IT department. If you got nobody, it's kind of a lonely feeling as you see that your computer suddenly stopped working. What the hell are you going to do? Unhook all that shit and take it to Best Buy? No. Call up Alan and Ashlyn, West Michigan's newest power couple at Blue Frost IT. If you're hooked up like I am, within 1 minute, Alan has taken control of your keyboard, and he's getting behind the root of the problem, trying to find what the issue is. Thank you to Blue Frost IT. As well, final sponsor, A&D Cleaning. You should come home to a clean house. Everybody's time is stretched to the max. They don't have time to even clean their house these days. Wouldn't it be nice to come home to an immaculately clean house? A&D Cleaning. Amy Porter will do a number on that house. Weekly, hell, daily. Maybe just a one-off time. A&D Cleaning, the house cleaning service as part of the Eric Zane Show podcast. You can find out more information by clicking in the lower sponsor scroll of ericzaneshow.com on the A&D Cleaning logo. All the information is there. If you miss anything about my sponsors, reach out Eric at ericzaneshow.com. All right, you aren't going to believe this. It has been a rough several months. I promise I'm not going to cry. But I have bad news. Some of you may know this person. I worked with Norm Kolenda for the past, I think it was 2005 when I started working with the Griffins. And for the past year and a half, Norm, or maybe more, it kind of all runs together for me. Norm Kolenda has been the timekeeper for the Grand Rapids Griffins hockey games. But that's just the beginning of it. Norm passed away yesterday. succumbing to cancer at 83 years old. And like I said, this has been a rough go for hockey. You had Bill Leroy, the Griffins video coach, passing away. You had our dear friend of the family, Brian Belgraf. We're still reeling from that, a giant in the local hockey community. And then now Norm Kalenda. Now, all of these people were huge in their respective areas. And Brian and Norm especially were very much concerned with youth hockey and getting kids who wouldn't normally be on the ice to play. Norm worked tirelessly as he got on in years, volunteering, sharpening skates for kids in the Griffins Youth Foundation. Like 300 pairs a week, Normie would be sitting there grinding skates, sharpening the blades. And his kids played hockey. His grandkids played hockey. He worked with local hockey in every manifestation of hockey in Grand Rapids. There's the Owls. I think there was the Blades. Was another team. And he was a part of all of those. Norm, we used to give Norm a lot of shit because he was so damn old, but Norm used to Zamboni the ice for the old Grand Rapids hockey games before Zambonis were invented. And that's not a joke. We didn't even have a Zamboni here in Grand Rapids. And this is way back in like the 40s. And Norm and his buddies, when they wanted ice time, what they would do is after each period in the old, I forget the name of the place where they used to play here in Grand Rapids. I don't even think it's around anymore. Used to go around with shovels, clear the ice, and then the way they would resurface the ice, there was 2 50-gallon containers on wheels with water, and they would squirt water onto the ice, and then it would refreeze. That's how they would resurface the ice back then. I saw some great pics of Norm skating around in his younger years. When he started in hockey, he would tape magazines to his shins and his forearms or tie him with rope in order to have protection. That's how much that guy loved hockey. And then he played overseas for a number of years when hockey was starting to manifest on the international level, and Norm did his thing there. And there was an article in Graffiti Magazine a few years back. I'll link it up in the comments of this podcast about Norm was known. I mean, you had Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe. Norm was kind of like the Mr. Hockey for West Michigan, and that's what the article was about. And it was a nice piece that came out a few years ago in the Griffin's publication known as Graffiti Magazine. So, rest in peace, Norm. Great guy. The dude didn't say a lot, and he was pretty serious. So I took it as a point of pride when I would make Norm laugh. And I swear like an idiot all the time. And when I would yell and swear, and I still do from where I sit, God, he'd start laughing. And that's saying something. If you can make old Norm laugh, you're doing pretty good. And so, like, when Hicketts would, cough up the puck in his own zone like he does every other time he touches it, and I say, "You stupid bastard, what the hell is wrong with you?" Norm would start cracking up. And then Norm would get pissed off because, like, one of our guys would skate in, one of the younger players, and one too many passes. He's got a wide-open shot, but he's got a guy on the wing on a 2-on-1, and Norm was always like, "Shoot the damn puck. Quit doing the extra pass. Shoot it." Guy's running out of real estate as he's skating in on the goalie. He's got a guy on the wing, but no room to even pass the damn thing. And your window is closing fast. Shoot it. And you'd hear Norm go, "Shoot the freaking puck. Shoot the damn puck." Screaming at the guy. Incredible. He was Mike Knubel's coach back in the day at East Kentwood. And he helped Mike become the hockey player that he was, and went on to a great career at Michigan, and then in the NHL, obviously, with the Red Wings and the Flyers. So Knubel, I'm sure, will be there. There'll be a visitation on Friday, and then a Catholic Mass on Saturday. Rest in peace, Normie. The guy's forgotten more hockey than most people have in their brains. Rest in peace, Norm. And I'm going to end it there. There's no point talking anymore. Little lean today. I don't know. Talked about everything I want to talk about. That's it. As I said, no Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia. Dale is sick. We're not done, though. I got to regroup. I'll talk with you more on the Patreon. If you want more podcasting, go to ericsantshow.com. Click where it says Patreon and sign up. Just $5 or $10 a month, and you keep this show chugging along. Okay, folks, have a great day. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.